The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Elsa Reeves walked to the podium, her boots echoing against the crystalline floor. She carried no datapad, no notes, just the weight of 7 billion deaths on her shoulders. The Zathrian delegate clicked his mandibles in what passed for their species' laughter. The human comes to beg for mercy, perhaps? To negotiate terms of surrender? Elsa's gray eyes swept across the assembled representatives of 43 species. Some averted their gaze. Others watched with predatory interest. The Zathrian Empire had just glassed the human colony of New Harmony, and not a single council member had raised an objection. "I'm not here to beg," Elsa said, her voice steady. "I'm here to deliver a message from Earth." She tapped the podium's interface and holographic images filled the chamber. Children playing in New Harmony's parks, scientists tending to agricultural domes, families gathered for evening meals. Then the images shifted. Zathrian warships in orbit, plasma beams lancing down, cities turning to vapor in seconds. "For 300 years humanity has played by your rules," Elsa continued. "We limited our expansion. We submitted to inspections. We paid the tariffs, followed the protocols, accepted the insults. We did everything the Council asked because we believed in civilization. We believed in the rule of law." The Zathrian delegate rose, his 6-meter frame towering over the assembly. "Your colony violated the expansion protocols. They established settlements beyond designated zones. The punishment was—" "They were 12 kilometers outside the boundary," Elsa interrupted, her voice sharp as a blade. 12 kilometers? Because their original landing site had unstable ground, and children were dying in collapsed structures. They asked for permission to relocate. You denied it. They moved anyway to save lives. "The law is the law," the Zathrian insisted. Elsa smiled, and it was a terrible thing to witness. "Funny, that's exactly what we're counting on." She activated another display. The Galactic Convention on Warfare, Article 47. Any signatory nation that deliberately targets civilian populations forfeits all protections under this convention. Addendum 12. Proportional response is authorized against those who commit acts of genocide. The council chamber erupted in confused chatter. The Pelothian observer, a being of pure energy, pulsed with alarm. "Ambassador Reeves, surely you don't mean to suggest—" "I'm not suggesting anything," Elsa said. "I'm informing you. As of 600 Earth Standard Time today, humanity invoked Article 47. The Zathrian Empire is no longer protected by the convention, and Earth has authorized a proportional response." The Zathrian delegates' laughter boomed across the chamber. "Proportional? You have 12 worlds. We have 300. Your fleet numbers 200 ships. Ours is 10,000 strong. You're committing suicide." "That's where you're wrong," Elsa said quietly. "You're confusing the military we showed you with the military we have." She pulled up new data. "For 3 centuries, humans have been very, very careful. We've been civilized, patient. We've held back because we wanted to be part of something greater. But you need to understand something about my species. We're not naturally civilized. Civilization is a choice we make every single day, and you just made us stop choosing it." Another image appeared, a star chart with thousands of markers. "While we've been playing diplomat, our corporations have been busy. Mining operations in dead systems you don't monitor, automated shipyards in the void between spiral arms, research stations in places you never thought to look because they're too far, too dark, too dangerous." The markers began to pulse, each one representing a hidden human facility. "You see, the thing about humans is that we're very good at being afraid. We never trusted that this peace would last. So we prepared. We've been preparing since the day we met you." A new figure materialized beside Elsa, Admiral Leo Chen, broadcasting from Earth Fleet Command. His uniform was not the ceremonial blue of the diplomatic corps, but the matte black of active combat operations. "The Council should be advised," Leo said, his voice carrying the weight of absolute authority, "that Earth Fleet has finished its mobilization. We're not sending 200 ships. We're sending 20,000, and they're not like the patrol craft you've seen. We've spent 300 years studying every species in this galaxy. We know your biology, your technology, your tactics, your weaknesses." He leaned forward and his eyes were cold. "We know that Zathrian shields fail at specific harmonic frequencies. We know their fusion reactors have a 3-second vulnerability during jump transitions, We know their command structure requires pheromone communication that we can jam, and we know exactly where their homeworld is. The chamber descended into chaos. Delegates shouted over each other. Security protocols engaged. Alarms blared. Elsa raised her hand, and somehow the gesture commanded silence. "We didn't want this," she said. And for the first time, emotion cracked through her professional facade. "We wanted peace. We wanted to be partners, friends. We wanted to prove that humanity had evolved beyond its violent past. But you just killed 7 billion people to make a point about boundary lines." She turned to face the Zathrian delegate directly. "So here's Earth's message. We stop being civilized now. We're going to show you what humanity looks like when we're not trying to be better, when we stop holding back, when we remember that we clawed our way to the top of our food chain by being the most persistent, creative, and terrifying predators our world had ever seen." Leo's image expanded. "Zathrian Empire, you have 48 hours to surrender unconditionally. Evacuate your military installations. Ground your fleets. Submit to human authority. If you refuse, we will demonstrate why every predator species on Earth learned to fear humans. We will show you what we're capable of when we stop pretending to be civilized." Elsa collected her belongings and turned to leave. At the doorway, she paused. "One last thing," she said, not looking back. To the rest of the council, you had a choice. You could have stopped this. You could have condemned the massacre. You chose to remain silent. Remember that in the days ahead. Remember that you're the ones who taught humanity that civilization was just a game for the strong. Now you're going to learn what happens when the scariest species in the galaxy stops playing." The doors closed behind her, leaving the council in stunned silence. Above Earth, 20,000 warships began their jump calculations. The age of human patience was over.